Good afternoon, everybody. I am Lori Dreyer, the branch librarian for the Newburgh Free Library. I work at the library out in the Newburgh Mall. And today I am going to go over how to make this cute framed mirror. This is part of our new year, new you theme for 2021. You can see yourselves. Whoa, it's inception. Um, so we want to not just use the mirror as a reflective tool, but also, as you can see, we have some words written to help us maintain that sense of positivity that we're all feeling for 2021. So let's get started. So if you picked up a kit from us, then you're going to have some goodies in it. Let's go over what is in your kit. And as always, I encourage you to be creative and use things that didn't necessarily come in the kit, or to use the things in the kit in the way that works best for you. Just gotta get all these little guys out of here. So, but I've given you the minimum number of things that you need, minus glue. You're going to need glue to glue on your little guys here, and cardboard. I didn't include cardboard, and then obviously like scissors. I didn't include. So, okay. So in your kit you get 2 mirrors. Please note that each mirror has a protective plastic coating, so it's going to look like it's not a very good reflection, but at the end you can peel off, you can see there, you can peel off this coating and the mirror will obviously look much better. But while you're making the craft, it's probably a good idea to keep that on. You also did get some instructions. I want to go through these instructions with you, but I do, before we do that, I want to point out on the very back page, I do have some alternate ideas for ways that you can frame your mirror. If you don't like the little beads that we're making, you can try things like driftwood. This one is plastic spoons. I don't know if you can see that very well, but I thought it was very creative. This one is popsicle sticks. And this one is just colorful paper, but it's cut out in the shape of leaves or flower petals. And I think all of those work really well with this craft. So let's see, what else do we have? We have a bit of yarn, a little bit. We have a couple of toothpicks. We have 2 double stick stickum tapes. And then we have some paper. So we have one bright white cardstock. And then we have 2 other colors. And the colors that you get are going to vary in the kits. But we try to give you not the same color at least. So both cardstock. Okay, and the weirdest thing you're going to see probably is that you get all of these strips on magazine pages. And these, of course, are going to end up being our beads that we're going to use to frame our mirror. So we're going to get started with that, and then we'll move over to my other camera here.
All right, what we're going to do is we are going to take our first piece of paper and roll using our toothpick, okay? And it's a little difficult to get that first one started, but you will get the hang of this by the end, believe me. Okay, you're gonna end up rolling quite a few of these, so there we go. All right, so and then you just roll it up, try to keep things even, although if it's not even, it's easy enough to fix. You just use a little bit of fingernail there and kind of shore it up. Okay. And then when you get to the end, what you're gonna do is you're gonna take your glue. Hopefully you have just some regular craft glue, any like Elmer's, Aileen's, Mod Podge would probably even work. In the end, you're going to probably end up with glue all over the place. So you're gonna wanna probably put down some paper on your table, or if you have a table like this that's kind of more industrial, it's easy enough to wipe off. So I'm gonna take, hang on, I'll adjust my fingers there. There we go. All right, you're gonna take your glue and you are going to do a small strip along the end there. And then when you bring it down, obviously, like I said, there's gonna be a bit of a mess. So that's all right though, because that gives our beads kind of a nice matte shine when it dries, which is not a bad thing at all. And I kind of like this one because it has the date. And don't worry about them being too wrinkly. Although I would advise you to try and be consistent. So if you're making them wrinkly, make them all wrinkly. And, oh, you know what? I messed that up. I should have taken this out first. Oh, good. All right. Okay, we'll do the next one correctly. Boop. And then what you want to do is set this down, and you can use the bag that your supplies came in. This is the kind of the perfect use for this bag. You set it down on the bag, and then it just sticks to the plastic, so you don't have to worry about it sticking to your table. All right, so we're just gonna keep going. We're gonna end up making 50 to 75 of these. Okay, and this really is the first step. If you want to move on to the next step, I would fast forward a few minutes. Oh goodness, what do you do if your paper does that? I am going to chop that bit off so that it's pretty. So we'll go. My paper was splitting a little bit there, so we'll skip that one. And we can start from the other side. The thing that you want to be aware of is that, here, let's move our plastic. You can see. Okay, thing that you want to be aware of is that as you're rolling, if you're rolling over this direction, come on, these little guys. There we go. Okay, so if you're rolling over this direction, this is going to be what shows up on the outside. So that's, you want to pay attention to that. So if you have a piece of paper or magazine page that you are using to create these, and in particular you want that whatever's on this side to be what's on the outside, then you have to just keep in mind to roll it. Start rolling on the opposite side, the top of the opposite side. Okay, here we go. And then what we're gonna do before we glue is we're gonna take this little die out. We're gonna shore it up again, and then we're gonna do our glue. And then again, we want to bring that glue around all the way. There we go. And put that on our plastic sheet. So I am going to go do a bunch of these, and then I will come back and continue recording.
have rolled a bunch of those little bead magazine pages, and I just wanted to go over really quick. So you've got your magazine pages. Now, we have supplied you with toothpicks. It is not necessary that you use toothpicks. If you have something larger, like a bamboo skewer or a pencil, then you're going to get obviously different size rolls. Might be kind of a fun thing to experiment with. You'll also notice a few things about your magazine pages. They are not all, or your strips, they are not all the same size. You can see they're all different widths. They should be about the same length since they're all from magazine pages, but they'll be different widths. And these will create rolls that are varying sizes, which will add a little more interest to the frame that you're creating. Also, I've ended up with quite a few magazine strips that have words on them. This was from a New Yorker magazine, which I think would be a cool look to have the frame made up of words. But if you are looking to do something a little more colorful, I would take a magazine that you no longer want, and pull out the pages of ads. Ads are particularly colorful because they're meant to catch our eyes, right? So, and then you can cut them into 1 to 1.5 inches wide, and use those to create your frame rolls. So that's just a few things to consider. I wanted to show you on this piece. You can see these guys, what size these guys are, and that is because they were rolled with a bamboo skewer. So they're a little wider. They're a little wider than the ones that I'm coming up with today, which are coming out a little skinnier, but they're also longer, which I think is going to be really interesting. So let's get them laid out.
Oh, good. There's enough to fit.
Everything laid out. Really fun days. I mean, more fun than rolling all those little tiny pieces of magazine paper. So you can see on our finished product here, we have our frame, and it's attached to our cardstock. We've attached that to one of our pieces of colored cardstock, which we cut to be approximately equivalent on each side. And then we attached the colored cardstock to a piece of cardboard. It's just a regular old piece of corrugated cardboard, and that cut to just a little bit outside of the colored paper bounds. So what we're gonna wanna do is take a piece of colored paper this is all while we're letting our frame dry completely. In fact, if you're real concerned or if you use a lot of glue, you might want to let it sit overnight and dry. So I think I'm going to choose to use the yellow paper, and I'm going to try something kind of different. I have a hanging file folder, just a regular old Staples hanging file folder. And I think I'm going to create this into a background so that it can hang from these little hooks that are on it. And then I can put my mirror on its colored color cardstock onto this. So here I go.